Coaching changes are quite common in the sporting world, but it's extra special when the coaching change is a handoff of the baton from father to son. North Central College football underwent such a change this offseason, and with training camp coming up, Charlie Edward details the story.
It was the greatest joy of my life to be able to be at North Central with these players and the coaches. When I got hired 13 years ago, I told him then, I said, you know, you're getting the least talented of the four Thorns.
When he makes the comments about other people being the magic of the program, I just want to set everybody straight that that's not the case. This man is the architect of what's happened at North Central College.
Oh, God! Chase!
The longest tenured coach in the 57-year history of North Central College football has moved on. It's a rarity in sports for a coach to last so long.
Who's in the front row for number 2?
Right. Wise men have claimed that every coach has a shelf life. But the philosophy and culture John Thorne brought with him may as well have come from the fountain of youth. 13 seasons that prior to his hiring were unprecedented in the program. He retired with an overall record of 118-30, the school's all-time leader in coaching victories and winning percentage. And the heir to Thorne's throne is his son, Jeff.
Primary reason he decided this was the right time to step away was wants to spend more time with his wife and my mom, and I think that's outstanding.
The culture preached faith, family, football to the players, football being last on the list with intention. John's belief in it was so strong that he walked away from his head coaching position to spend more time with his wife, who has had health concerns.
And he's really done that and stayed away the vast majority of the summer, hanging out by the pool at their house, but also doing some traveling.
Leaving the coaching duties to father of 3, Jeff Thorne. Thorne is no stranger to coaching, having been a member of all 13 of his father's coaching staffs. And even when he's not coaching football, he's coaching something. Like his son's travel baseball team, where he's an assistant throughout the summer.
He's been a travel baseball player for the last several years, so that eats up a lot of the summer.
Family may come first, but football is still in the top 3. And Jeff's passion runs deep. He spent a childhood walking the sidelines, observing from and learning his father's coaching methods at Wheaton-Warrenville South High School.
Absolutely, no question about that. It is an adjustment too, though, because my entire life I've known him as my father and a head football coach. So there is a little bit of an adjustment from that standpoint as well.
But the main adjustment will be watching Jeff own the same sideline John once called his, while John actually stays in a smaller role as the special teams coach, the rarest of situations, though the father-son handoff isn't all too uncommon in the game of football. From Buddy Ryan to Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan. From Don Shula to David Shula and Mike Shula. From Marty Schottenheimer to Brian Schottenheimer. For North Central College Athletic Director Jim Miller, the lineage helped make the decision quite easy. In fact, Jeff Thorne was the only coach North Central interviewed for the job.
I really believe the apple didn't fall far from the tree, to use a cliche, but with Jeff and John, the values, the consistency that we'd have to be able to keep our entire staff.
To expound on the cliche of an apple not falling far from a tree, it can also be said that it's unnecessary to fix what isn't broken.
Why would we want to make a change? We just made the Final Four. We're 1 point from playing in the national championship game. Why would we want to go out if John retired after 13 and immediately look for a new situation? Our expectations and our hopes are high.
Miller's perspective on the team is unique, having been a member of 4 different coaching staffs.
And when you're making a hire that important, you could do your interviews and you can do your due diligence, but many times you don't know exactly what you're getting. I knew what we're getting from the day Jeff walked in to today, 13 years later.
Which doesn't extricate any impending differences the organization is likely to endure and transition from coach to coach. The approach will remain unaltered, but Jeff is not John.
I think one of the primary differences is just the fact that he's 67 years old, he's a grandfather of 7, and just that life experience and being able to stay calm regardless of what kind of choppy waters we're going through. And that's something that'll have to be learned for me.
Hey, you're the football. Listen, hey!
An additional difference may be the method with which he applies his tactical knowledge, which was built fervently dissecting opposing defenses as the offensive coordinator.
Whether it's cover 2, cover 3, quarter, half, man free, an odd man front, an even man front, a 7-man front, a 5-man front, a 4-man, a 3-man, everything. So you see everything.
Thorne gives to Kent, spins off the first tackle.
The differences may not be evident until they naturally evolve with time. Thankfully for all involved, spring ball provided a springboard of sorts to help the transition along.
Spring ball was really helpful as far as that went. It gave the assistant coaches a chance to really kind of adjust to maybe a different voice. Not that anything's really changing that dramatically, but it's a slightly different personality than what my father was, and that certainly is going to be a slight adjustment for everybody to get used to.
Yes, sir. All right, the bullets are flying. We gotta keep...
They'll acclimate themselves to a new voice in hopes of continuing the winning product North Central has been fielding. Most of the starters return on defense, with the secondary receiving early praise from the new head coach.
Really excited about our secondary. We get Jeremy Nicholas back, who tore his ACL in the 4th week of the season last year. That really hurt defensively. He's a taller cover guy, and at safety, looking like Kevin Nalewski and Rich Zerngable are going to be our 2 safeties back there, with Nick Lynch and Brett O'Kane and several others as really high-quality backups right now going into camp.
The offense holds more mystery, led by quarterback Dylan Warden, who enters his first full season as the starter. He'll have to rely on Ryan Cool or Alex Ulmer as his '1 target, especially with the exit of star receiver Pete Sorensen.
Ryan Cool started all 10 games last year as a freshman. He's 6'5" and about 205 pounds, and he can run. Really athletic guy. We're really excited about what Ryan's going to be able to do this year.
Intended for Ryan Cool, he makes the grab. Touchdown NCC.
Meanwhile, John Thorne will lurk in the background as the special teams coach, and though he won't be guiding the boat, he'll still be on board for the ride.
I've got enormous shoes to fill, and I'm just glad that he's going to be there to help me do that. He's why we're where we are. Everything I know about the game, I learned from him.
For the home stretch, I'm Charlie Edward.